California Governor Gavin Newsom finally declares his run for the presidency, he'll promise to do for America what he has already done for California. Big things, visionary things, like the high-speed rail project that will soon connect Los Angeles to San Francisco.
This is not just a transportation project. This is a transformation project. This is one of the great economic investments in those regions of our state, and will make commute times shorter and make life more affordable for the people of the Central Valley. 119-mile first phase, fully funded. All of the hard work behind us. Now we're going to see the fruits of that. We're going to start seeing precisely what you see here. Real tracks, real progress.
What's been promised has almost been a three-card monte, saying that it's going to be only $33 billion, and now the total amount's $231 billion, and it's supposed to be done in 2020.
The California high-speed rail is once again under a microscope in Sacramento.
Because right now, I think the trust of the people, and again, this is not you, but the trust of the people of this authority has been, I'll say it's been a major failure.
Lawmakers' biggest concern, whether there's enough money to finish key stretches of the rail line.
We're now at a point where it's supposed to go from Merced to Bakersfield. We don't have enough money from Merced to Bakersfield, but we're also going to move some money over to LA and San Francisco. Can you explain that?
State rail officials say the plan relies on bringing in private investors and shifting the focus to the full Los Angeles to San Francisco route.
What we're asking is, once we have private investors on board, they should be able to look at what the full high-speed rail system phase 1 is, which is LA to San Francisco.
He says that approach could help build different sections at the same time, making the project more attractive to outside funding.
That's why we say, can we unlock the private financiers' ability to look at the schemes of San Francisco to San Jose to Gilroy, and on the other end, look at LA Union Station, that is commercially viable.
You know, the last year or so that we've kind of been following this story, the California high-speed rail that goes to nowhere, I've been questioning. They had it down at $128 billion. And, you know, everything has gone up, right? Everything has gone through the absolute stratosphere price-wise. California, one of the most expensive states to build anything in. How were they going to hold it at, oh yeah, it's just going to be $128 billion or so-ish, which is up from $33 billion in 07, 08 when this project first started, theoretically getting off the ground. Now leadership is saying, yeah, well, those original estimates, those were based on theory. Yeah, we didn't really know what it was going to take. We were just kind of estimating. Well, yeah, you threw out a low ball, right? So now we're up to $231 billion, 7 times more than 08. And you know what the solution is? According to those who are pushing this whole boondoggle, this whole complete transportation shenanigan, this train wreck, is bring in private equity investors. Bring in private, meaning non-governmental. Hey, let's just turn this over to the private sector. They're going to want to chomp at the bit to get a little bite of this bad boy. Who in their right mind is going to invest in this? Hey, I got a bridge in the desert that's partially built. It's 7 times over its 08 estimate. Governmental funding is just dried up because the thing is just such a disaster. But hey, I need you to dump a quick $25 billion into this. What do you think? Get you a good return. I mean, this thing's really going to cash flow when we're all said and done, right? I mean, this could change your life. This could be a game changer. This is groundbreaking. Yeah, I know it's supposed to be done in 2020, but cost overruns. We need your help. California's long-delayed high-speed rail project is now facing renewed scrutiny after state leaders revealed a dramatically higher price tag. Boys and girls, price has gone up, right? Now estimated at roughly $231 billion. This is so bad. This is so bad that there is no way this is going anywhere. This is just not going anywhere. Gavin Newsom must just be going, oh my God, oh God, why does this have to happen on my watch? Governor, what? Why is this happening to me? And he does his little dance, whatever. Revised figures have reignited talks in Sacramento over whether the project can realistically be completed. Could you imagine if this was in the private sector? Laughable. I'm sorry. How much is the cost overrun? Trump is just going to eat this up. He is just going to he already thinks this is, and it is. It's a terrible idea. And it's been terrible implementation. Other countries get this built all day long. They just focus on it. All right, we're going to do it. How long it will take and whether the state can continue to fund it at this scale. Well, the feds have pulled back $4 billion, right? They don't need $4 billion. They need like an extra $100 billion, $150 billion. Just not happening. And nobody in the private sector in their right mind is going to buy into this. Just no. Hard no. It's laughable. It's laughable that they're even talking about this, in my opinion. Senator Tony Strickland, he sharply criticized the updated costs. That was the dude in the suit sitting next to the kid. In Timeline, pointing to what he described as a major breakdown in public trust. Major breakdown. That would imply that there was some public trust on this bad boy at some point in time. I don't think there has, but oh yeah, let's do the train from San Fran to LA. Have the state of California build it. This should be the greatest thing ever. Said nobody. What's been promised is almost like a 3-card Monty, saying that it's only going to be $33 billion and now $231. Strickland added that confidence in the project has eroded significantly among lawmakers and the public. I wonder why. $231 billion. Do you remember back in the day when $1 million overrun used to be a lot? A 7-figure overrun used to be significant. Now we do 6-figure billion-dollar increments. Right now, I think the key concern among lawmakers is whether there is enough funding to complete the rail line. A key concern. We ain't got no more money to finish this. Yeah. It's laughable. It is literally laughable. I look forward to every time I report on this topic because it's so silly. That's literally what this amounts to, is silliness. It's just one shenanigan after another, right? Oh yeah, we're going to build this. It's going to be great. Oh, we're all going to be famous. Strickland questioned the financial strategy currently being used. Yeah, like spending money on it, period. He said, we're now at a point where we're supposed to go from Merced to Bakersfield. We don't have enough money to go from Merced to Bakersfield, but we're also wanting to move some of that money to LA and San Francisco. We heard him say that. Can you explain that? No, we can't explain the whole project in general. We got nothing. Love to help you out, but it's the high-speed train. It's the bullet train to nowhere because it doesn't go anywhere. They haven't laid a single track of this bad boy that's been completed. Not a single track. Not a track. California High-Speed Rail Authority officials say the project's future depends on attracting, you got it, private investors. Hey, you got a spare $1 billion laying around? You throw it our way. Give you a little equity position. Give you a little return when we make a profit. How old are you? You're 55? Okay. Well, when you're 85, we might have this thing finished and, maybe your estate gets some kind of return on investment, right? Yeah, maybe your great-great-great-grandchildren will be able to qualify for some kind of rebate. And attracting private investors and focusing on a broader, more commercially viable vision connecting LA to San Fran. They tried to cut it down to bite size because they thought that they could get that finished, which was Bakersfield to Merced. But nobody really wants to make that run. That's not really a thing. Nothing against Bakersfield, nothing against Merced, right? Nothing against either of those entities. They both got very important stuff going on, right? But the concept was LA to San Fran because that is a game changer. But in my lifetime, I don't think this gets finished. I just don't. It's a massive, massive undertaking. And I think initially it should have been done in just absolutely small bite-sized pieces. Hey, let's see if we can get like 2 miles of rail done. Let's see if we can do that. Just a real fast run. All right. Zoop. Okay. Did that. But no, they've got to go broad scope, right? Ian Chowdhury, CEO of California High-Speed Rail Authority, said the strategy is designed to make the project more attractive to outside funding. I mean, to hear these people with a straight face tell you this stuff. Well, Merced to Bakersfield, not as attractive. LA to San Fran. And we haven't proved that we can do either one. But, you know, a lot of people want to do the LA to San Fran thing. So that's what we're going to pitch in this next, round of looking for funding. Got a quick billion? Oh, let's do this. He said, what we're asking is once we have private investors on board, they should be able to look at the full high-speed rail system phase 1, which is LA to San Francisco. Yeah, but that's just hopeful at best. I mean, that is absolutely, this thing's going to be $1 trillion before it's all said and done. Why wouldn't it? You know what I mean? That's not a stretch. That's only going up essentially 4 times. It's already gone up 7. It's mind-blowing stuff. And that's why we're doing it, because it's so entertaining. It's like, what a bunch of dummies. You guys need to get your act together. This is literally just an absolute joke. It's a terrible joke. He added that expanding simultaneous construction efforts could be the best option. Well, how come we haven't done that so far? And what's that got to do with the cost estimate? Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe you should send out a memo. People building the San Francisco light rail. I got a news flash for you here. Maybe we could do simultaneous construction on both San Fran to LA and, Merced to Bakersfield. Simultaneous construction. That's a thing. That's what this guy's saying. CEO, right? He said, can we unlock the private financier's ability to look at the schemes of San Francisco to San Jose to Gilroy, and on the other end, look at LA Union Station? That is commercially viable. And I can tell you, private sector is telling us that every day. Yeah, but, flying to the moon was commercially viable. Did we even do that? I don't know. I really don't know. Stanley Kubrick, Sound Lot, LA. I think that's what happened. But that's a whole nother story. Here, we're talking about kidding ourselves that this is commercially viable. I know there's some study out there. Oh, yeah, we can do it. We can get this done. Despite those assurances that the private sector is going to bring in the funding, what investor in his right mind would step up to this? I mean, besides somebody who's just got an enormous hard-on for public transport and is just a loaded billionaire, right? You know what I mean? Or a female who just loves to ride high-speed rail. I love trains. Despite those assurances, skepticism remains high among lawmakers about whether private capital will materialize at the scale needed. In the billions, yes. Because why wouldn't they go out and fund something that, I don't know, has a chance of being built? Strickland questioned the feasibility of relying on outside investors after years of escalating costs. I mean, the statements made here are just, they're so obvious, right? Yeah. Why would outside investors pitch into this? They wouldn't. That's the point. $231 billion? At least they're trying to, be transparent now. All right. So we're no longer at 128. We almost doubled it. 231. We blew it up by a billion plus, right? You're able to get private sector resources after you continue your project. It's supposed to be 33 billion and turned into 231. I give you a lot of credit if you're able to raise a lot of that private capital. Credit? Giving them award. Under current projections, assuming funding and construction proceed as planned. Why would we assume that? But anyway, let's just go fantasy land and go down that road. Service between San Fran and Bakersfield could begin around 2033. Okay, 2033. Let's see. I am 57 now. Call it 58. My birthday's in November. We're in 2026. To roll another 4 years, 7, let's call it 8 years. I'm 65. There's no way that's happening. Say I live another 20 years. Say I live to 85. There is no chance in hell this thing's going to ever get constructed. There's none. There's none. None. Well, the full Los Angeles to San Francisco connection could extend to 2040, another 7 years. Essentially, probably another 15 years, right? With the way this is going, the rate this is going. And here's one of my favorite words. Concerns are not limited to outside critics. Senator Strickland also pointed to comments from Lou Thompson, former chair of the California High-Speed Rail Authority peer review group, who recently criticized the latest draft business plan. Thompson wrote that the 2026 draft plan has reached a dead end, arguing that the project has drifted far from its original vision due to escalating costs, delays, and unfunded gaps. In other words, this is not a viable project by any way, shape, or form. And Gavin Newsom's going to be blamed for it. And you know what? It's partially on him. You see him gallivanting about, talking about this thing. And it's he says it's important. It's an important development, and it's important to be able to transport people between those cities. Hey, I agree. But there's this little thing called, accountability. And there's this little thing called a budget. And there's this little thing called fiscal responsibility. And this project, and, in real estate, we talk about whether it's, physically possible, financially possible, and probable. Can you actually make it happen? This project has none of those factors. None of those factors. I've got great concern that we're at the end of the road here. This project should be done. Put a fork in it. Stick a fork in it. You imagine being out there and being one of these, what's called a slab worker, a concrete guy, hard surfaces guy. You're out there just pouring away on this project. You're getting paid. You're doing a job, but you're just thinking, are you telling me I'm spending year after year of my life on a project that is literally probably never going to be finished? I mean, you build it and they will come. Well, kind of build it and they still can't ride the train because there's no train to ride. There's no tracks to ride. So how many billion have they already spent? Have they spent 20, 25 billion? I don't know. It's a bunch. I don't think they know, right? Because with all the spending and how things have gone, it's like every other governmental entity. They don't really know where the money's gone. But hey, private investors, we need you to step in. We need you to make California great again. Not happening. So when will this project when does it literally get shut down? I think it should be shut down now. Because at $231 billion, that makes it just that much more not attainable. It's not physically possible. It's not financially possible. And will this thing ever pencil at $231 billion? How many riders is that a day? And at what price? Inquiring minds want to know. Maybe we'll focus on that. $231 billion divided by 14 riders. What are they going to have to charge? What would they have to charge for a 10-year period to even make a tiny dent in what this has got going? I mean, $1 million a rider? I don't know. You know what I mean? Just like, what? How much is this? Oh man, that's an expensive ride. Yeah. You know how much it cost. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks again for joining. Bye for now.